Hello, everyone. Today, I guess you could tell from the thumbnail what we're going to be working on, and that is the Mystery Machine. And this is not one that I have made. This is one from my collection, and this is the little Fred that goes with it. And this, of course, is the Fred that I made. And honestly, I feel like the Fred that I made looks more right for the scale of this Mystery Machine than what this one does. But, even though this is the one that actually came with it, I feel like mine matches it better. Now, this Mystery Machine is kind of slanted downward. The one I make is going to be flat across the top. It ain't going to kind of slant down like this one is doing. Um, so the front, you can sort of see the front of it is a little bit lower than what the back is. So mine's going to be the same from front to back. But I'm just going to kind of use this as a reference, a model. Now I can probably make everything from my foam board. The only thing I don't think I'm going to be able to make to look good would be the tires. So for that, I've got this vintage Jeep, which has the perfect tires, and that's what I'm going to use for my Mystery Machine. And it's even got these little white plastic parts in the middle that look like flowers, so those will get painted later to look like the orange flower, because if you look at the picture of the real Mystery Machine from the original cartoon, they have like an orange daisy in the tire as the rim. So I kind of hate to take them off this cool vintage toy, but I think it'll be okay because I looked this up. It's not really valuable, so it's not that big a deal. This one I think is from the 70s or the early 80s, and it's made by a company called Gay Toys. So this is going to be a gay little mystery machine, but it's going to be the cutest little mystery machine. At least I hope it is. So I'm going to go ahead and grab me some foam board. I actually got to the store this weekend and got me some foam board. I had been putting that off for like 3 weekends, so I finally got it. So let me grab it and start drawing out the parts. All right, so I got kind of tickled because I just played back that last clip, and I said I finally got my foam board. And the funny thing is, I went to get the foam board right after I said that, and then I realized it was actually in a friend's house. I had left it at their house, so I didn't actually have it. So this is like a day, almost 2 days later, I had them bring me that. So I can finally get to work on it. The other day when I was starting that video, I just thought I was going to work on it, and I guess I got fooled. But I finally got everything together, I believe. This foam board is a little bit thicker and stronger than what I normally use. It's got these little squares all over it. It's hard to see them up here, but right here where the light's hitting it, you can sort of see it. But that just will kind of help me, you know, draw out these parts that I'm going to draw out. And I've kind of got a cold. Well, it's not even a cold, it's just probably an allergy. I've been real snotty for like 6 days now, so I'm kind of hoping this will go away soon. But I'm going to actually go off camera and just cut out these parts. I'm going to just measure this one here and basically measure these parts and draw them onto the foam board, and then we'll cut them out and then just glue them together. But I gotta, it's going to take a little thinking and a lot of measuring to get all this side cut out. I'm going to do it kind of in parts because this one is pieced together also. So I'm going to just kind of copy what I see here and just get them drawn and cut out real quick off camera. All right, so I think I've got the parts cut out, and that was actually harder than I thought. Uh, well, I've kind of got them cut out. I've kind of got them basically cut out. Now I've got them cut out square, but as you can see, there's like it doesn't go straight down. It's kind of got a little slant to it. So I've got to, like, let me find that part there. Okay, so this is the side piece, but again, I'm going to have to cut a little swoop, like a little slant into it right there. So that's got to be done, and I've got to make sure I only do it on this one side and not both sides. Um, this, and I've kind of tried to label them because there's so many pieces here, and even with them labeled, it is so confusing because I've got front, back, bottom, top, back, bottom, 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 top, top, top. It's just so crazy. And then I ended up cutting this off of two pieces, and I was thinking, why did I cut that off of two pieces? I'm not sure why I cut this off of any of these parts, so I'm going to have to lay them out and make sure that I've got it cut out good. Uh, this is very complicated, but I don't know why it is that way. Normally, I can just breeze right through something. I'm a visual learner. I mean, I can just look at it and do it. And I mean, I'm getting there. It's not too hard, but anyway, let me see here. That's the front and the back, I think. Top, back. It says top. That says the back. Oh yeah, I was going to say, why is it so much wider than that? But I'm making mine as wide as what this is. You can see there how it matches up. And then I've got to slant the bottom parts. So I'll do that. So that goes there. This one goes here. And it'll have to have a slant cut into that. So that's the back parts, the top and the bottom. Let's see. And then mine's going to be a little more square. It's not going to come into a point. This one's kind of coming more narrow in the front. Mine's going to be more proportioned all the way around. So here's the front half. And then once I get them slants in it, it'll look better. And then the side, I'm just going to kind of go over this. Maybe y'all can sort of see side, back, bottom. That goes there. Side, back, top. That goes there. It probably won't stay standing. Okay, there it is. And then there's the side, front half, and the side top. But what confused the heck out of me was saying side, front, and this one says front, top, and then I was like, this one says front, top, but that's the side. So it's important to put side, and then I don't know, but see, it says side front. This one says side, or it just says top front. I don't know. It's just so confusing, but maybe I should have put rear instead of back, because to me, this is the back side. This is the rear. This is the front, but then this is also the front. So anyways, very confusing, but I think I've got it together. I've got all them parts cut out, and then of course I had to do two. And that's another thing that made it confusing, is there's like two of everything. So it's like, oh yeah, I guess there has to be two of everything to get two sides. So there's that. And then here's the front and the back bottom parts, and the front and the back top parts. So I think we do have it. So I'm going to get the little slants cut in it next. So now I've got those little angles cut. And then let me slide these together so we can sort of see the shape of the mystery machine. Okay, so that's kind of their little side view. That's what the side will be shaped like. That's the side like this. Now I need to measure out and figure out where these tires need to go. So I'm going to cut out my little space here for the tire, and then I'm going to go ahead and cut out the side windows on these two parts and get that done. And then I'm still, as I'm doing this, I'm trying to figure out how I'm going to connect all these pieces together. So I don't know if I'm going to hot glue it or use some kind of a strong tape. I'm just not sure, because I don't want it to look messy. Because when I paint it, I'm trying to keep it really smooth and pretty out here, because that's going to be the actual surface that we will be seeing other than getting it painted. But I don't want to, chip it up or put a bunch of glue on there and make it look, wonky. I'm trying to make it look clean and neat. All right, I guess I need to show what I did to do that, because I took the Jeep apart and I've got this little piece here. And what I've done is I'm just now realizing I did it backwards. Okay, this was the, wait, what am I doing? Okay, this is the front and this is the front of the van, but I had it like this and I laid this down. This is where the wheels hook on, and I just thought it'd be easy to trace it. But I'm noticing that I traced it backwards, but I think it'll be okay. I mean, it's not really that big of a deal, just the difference in the shape here, but the shape don't really matter. This ain't even the shape that's on the mystery machine anyway, but I'm just trying to get a basic opening here to where those wheels will have a place to go. So I don't care what the shape is, as long as it's, spaced apart. And I'm trying to figure out how I can use this as the bottom, where I can just, once I get this put together, I can just glue it to this and then the wheels just pop right back on it. But it's got these seats molded on, and there's no way of getting those off. I was really hoping to use this, but I just don't know what I can do to use it. If I could even just cut out this part here and here, because I really need these little claw things to hook the wheels back onto. So my brain is just really working hard right now to think of how I can get these things cut off of there somehow. To where it's going to be strong enough to hold it. So I don't know. I'm just sitting here thinking more than I'm anything. If I could just get that little piece right there and maybe glue it to the bottom, make the whole new bottom out of foam board. But I'm just thinking that looks awful weak. I don't know if that will hold, but I guess we'll just get to that in a minute. But I just wanted to show how I traced out those little hubcap areas to where I will know where to cut them out at. And then as far as the window, like this is the part where the window is going to be, and I don't know where my ruler is. Oh yeah, right here. For the window, I'm just going to come down every every little mark. I'm just going to go around it and mark, and then draw a little frame around it. I'm going to draw it on this side roughly. Now I got those parts cut out for the wheel, and I got the window cut out, and the way I've put these together is I've just used some of that really strong silver tape that you use for like duct work. And then what I like about that is it's kind of like a little hinge right now. It'll still, instead of being straight up and down, it'll allow me to curve that when I go to put the front and the back on, so it ain't just a straight up piece. So that's why, of course, I had to piece these parts in pieces, because it had to have that slant. So there's how that's going to work. And then I've created a bottom. It's just a piece of rectangle foam board, and I've kind of measured out where the wheels will be, which is within this little space here. And then I've cut those out just like that. So the tires will go in there. And thank goodness I had this little Jeep to take apart and kind of work with, and also just for having all these mystery machines that I've got already. And actually, I just bought this one last weekend at a toy show. So this one's pretty cute, and this is how I'm hoping mine will look when it's done. And then here's the little parts. These, oh yeah, see, that scared me. I thought, oh my gosh, what have I done wrong here? But actually, see, let me see if I can get this to show. Let me crank the camera down a second. All right, so let me see. This is supposed to be connected to that white piece. And then I thought, oh gosh, why is the wheel so high up in there? But I forget, the bottom's going to be raised up like this. And actually, what am I doing? See, I'm not even sure what I'm doing, actually. Let me try. I guess the wheel will be on the bottom like that. Oh, okay. Yeah, yeah, yeah. That makes sense. Oh my gosh. See, I'm learning as I'm actually filming. I mean, I'm not practicing anything before I film it. I mean, I'm literally seeing this as everyone else is seeing it. But this don't really match up for some reason. Maybe, oh wait, I think that's the front actually. Okay, because see, this part's bigger than the front. And that should hook. Okay, that is so much better. And then the back. Let me see which one's the back. Let me back up the camera a little bit and focus it. All right. And then, oh wait, I gotta get the other tire in there. And I've just got to attach those tires somehow where they can still turn. But then there's the side. So you're kind of seeing it coming together with me. Well, actually, I guess I'm seeing it before because it ain't like it's a live video, but okay, that's looking good. I feel good when it comes together and it's, you know, it's going smooth. If I would have made a mistake, it'd be stressful because, like I said in my last video, it has been hard for me to even want to work on stuff lately. I've had way too much on my mind, too many things going on. But you know, I do have fun once I start it if it goes well. But if it's difficult, then it just makes it harder to want to do a project. And I know a lot of people say they keep putting stuff off because they can't get in the mood to want to work on stuff, and that my videos will help them get in the mood to work on stuff. So I'm glad my videos are helping others want to work. But you know, I've got to somehow find you know, that's kind of the same with me watching other people make stuff. It keeps me in the mood to want to do it. So anyways, I'm excited to get to work on a video because once I get into it, it's fun, but sometimes it just takes a while to get in that mood. But anyway, it looks like it's coming together pretty good. I got to think of something that's going to hook these down here. And that's where I was thinking about that bottom part, which I don't even know where I've set that. All right, so here it is. I'm thinking if I can get these pieces off and then just glue them to the foam board, that will be good. So I'm going to actually go take a grinder or a Dremel or something. I don't know what we got, but I'm going to go see how I can get that piece cut off and hopefully get it glued to this. All right, check it out. I got them cut off, and that was the easiest thing that it could have been. I mean, I took this little hacksaw, and you can see the blade, and it just went right down where those were right there, and it just chopped those right off. I mean, it didn't even take me a minute to get those off. I did not know it was going to be that easy. So we got these little things to attach the wheels to, and of course those will glue to the bottom just like this, and then the wheel will snap back into those. But one thing I was looking at is once this is together, Fred looks pretty good. I mean, it looks like it's a pretty good height. It looks good, but I was afraid that once I put these on, it's gonna make it a little bit taller, which I guess is okay. I don't know how that's gonna change the look of it, but right now I like the looks of it. So I'm going to, let me see. I'm just checking it out for a minute. It looks good, and it is going to raise it up a little bit more with this, so I don't think it'll make it an issue. But let's see something here. We got to glue two of them here in the front, and I think they were like this. So I think they were like this actually. Let me see if I could get it together. My little fingers just can't grip them. They go that way, but I think I'm going to do them this way to where this flat piece is on the inside, where the flat pieces are facing each other, so that later I can go in with maybe like a little piece of foam board and put between them kind of down low like this, just to help strengthen it up and make sure that they are glued on there good, and then that doesn't really get in the way of the wheel, because the wheel can still go down on that. So that's what I'll do. I'll get them glued in, and then stable it up even more with a piece of foam board, and then pop them on, and then I'll glue the sides on. And when I glue these sides on, I'm going to just stick them on here like this and glue them in place. And then, like I always do, I'm going to go up in there with some of my stick pins, my sewing pin, and just make sure that's in there really good to make it strong and sturdy. Alright, well, before I go to glue it all together, I just wanted to show the bottom, how wonderful that looks. And there, of course, there's that little piece of foam board to help strengthen it up. I super glued that, but you know, super glue will not hold certain types of plastic, and I think this is a type of plastic that it will not glue. But it did tack it enough to hold it in place, and here in a minute I'm going to really glob up a bunch of hot glue around it just to help hold it better. But so far the super glue is tacking it enough to where I can have it in place where I need it. And then I'm going to go and actually spray paint this whole bottom black before I start putting it together. That way it can just be done painted and I won't have to do that later. Alright, so here's where we are, and I think it's looking good, but I just don't think that the hole is cut the right way. I feel like the tires are going to be, I just feel like this is cut too high, and I'm not going to like it, which I haven't tried the tires on there yet, but I already can tell this is going to be cut out too much, and I'm not going to love it, and it's going to bug me, but it is what it is, because I've already got this far, and I'm not going to redo it all. I think it'll be okay, but it's looking pretty awesome. I just got to do the front and the back, which again, I've got those parts cut out ready to go, but I just wanted to show what it was looking like. Well, like I said earlier, I'm learning as I go. So here are the tires on there, and they actually don't look terrible. Uh, well, they kind of do, but I think it'll kind of fix itself as I add more to it. It looks okay here. Once I get the little things on the inside, it's gonna look a little bit better, but it does look kind of weird, but I'm gonna live with it. But before I can put the front on and stuff, I need to work on the seat. So I'm gonna cut out some little pieces of foam board. I'm just using this as an example, and get a little seat put in here, and then get the little dashboard and all that done. Because it, of course, will be easier before I put that front part on there. So I'm going to work on all those, which is just going to be pretty simple. Just little rectangles of board put in there to where it looks like a seat. And I need to decide if I'm going to paint or upholster that. I haven't made up my mind about that yet, but I want the seat to look kind of like a real seat. And there's my telephone, so I'm going to click it off here and see who that is. So for the seat, I've just glued in a piece like this, and for the dashboard, I've cut a little piece. It's going to sit right inside. This is going to go straight up and down, and you'll kind of have that going on inside there. So it's like your pedals would be down in here. It's kind of dark. I don't know how well you can see it, but I'm not actually going to put pedals in it, but you're going to have kind of the illusion of it. But there's the little dash right in there. And then there's, of course, going to be a flat piece up here. And then you won't even see this right here because the front will go on. But that's how I'm doing it to hide the wheels on the inside. And you can sort of still see down in there. But there's going to be a board, a little piece of cardboard that will come and angle kind of like, well, I just totally done it where you couldn't see it, but there'll be a little piece of cardboard that will just go down in there and angle to hide that wheel, so you won't see it, and that'll still give them room for their feet to go down in there, kind of like that. Okay, so I'm trying to think of where I left off because I've been sitting here working on a lot of this, and I've painted the inside this gray color, and it's just one layer, so I've got to do another coat of that. Um, and I've kind of got the dashboard and stuff up there. I've got to still make a seat for it, and then I was trying to figure out what could hide this wheel, and I just kind of thought that like a little hubcap thing, or just like a little, what is this part of a thing called that kind of comes in and goes up over the wheel. I thought about this, and I had two of those. I had one there and then one here, and then I was going to cap it off and put a side on it like this, and it was looking okay. You'll see that in the picture, but I didn't like it. I ripped it off because when I was looking at pictures and stuff of the Mystery Machine, it is flat in the back. So I've just cut a piece of board, and that little board right up in there is going to be the seat. This board, I'm going to try to focus the camera. I think it's having a hard time focusing. This board is going to raise up over the wheels and be kind of level back here, and I'm going to block this part up. So that's going to be kind of the bottom of the inside of the Mystery Machine. It's supposed to just be flat. I just wasn't liking those little humpy things over the wheels. And then I've got my doors cut out, and they're in pieces just like the sides were done. And let me see here. They're going to go, of course, in there like this. And they've got to sort of have a permanent bend in it. Like they fit really good. And, whoops, there it went. So see, the way they're doing right now, I don't want them to flop around. There's going to be a hinge just on this part here to where it can open up. But I don't want that top flapping like that. So I'm going to get the angle that I need. And then there's a crack here you can see. I'm going to actually fill that in with some hot glue so that that will permanently hold the bend that I need. But I'm going to have to lay it in here like this and figure out that bend. And then I can do it kind of like this, which I think that whiteboard's a little bit in the way. I need to shorten that because it's pushing that bottom of that door out. But anyway, once I get it in there, I'm going to go in there and squirt some hot glue and let it dry, and then that'll keep that shape that it needs. So that's kind of what I've been doing, just fighting and figuring out a way to hide the wheels inside, and then just getting these doors cut to where they'll fit good. And I'll put that on with a piece of cloth, like a long strip of a cloth. Normally I would do tape like that, but that can rip, and I've found out that the fabric won't rip, so I'm going to use a little fabric hinge. And I think after I get that done, I think we're about to wrap it up for the day, just because this has been a job just getting it built. Now, the next video, we will do the pretty stuff and the fun stuff, which will be painting it and putting all the little accessories inside. And of course, I've got to make that one seat for the front. All right, so here's where we are. And I think I'm going to quit here for the day because it's kind of late where I'm at. And I want to try to start getting the video together so I can get it uploaded. And plus, it seems like it's probably going to be long, and we definitely need to make this a 2-part video. I think I could probably finish it up next week. But one cool thing is I did get to use the steering wheel that you can sort of see in there. And then the little front and back bumper, I cut those off, and I'm going to be able to use those. And I've done something really cool with them, but I'm not going to show that in this episode. We'll see that next time. I do need to think of something for the headlights, like some sort of little clear plastic something to go there. I'm not sure what I'll use for that. And then I've got a lot of cool ideas for the inside as far as decorating the inside. And of course, the outside just needs to be painted. And I didn't get the doors on because I've got this gray painted and it's still real sticky. And I don't want to try to fool with the doors because I'm afraid they'll get glued shut. if I work on that. And the way I want to do them is sort of stick them in there, like I said, and then fill that full of glue and let that glue dry. And instead of using hot glue, I'm actually going to use the tacky glue. Um, I think it'd be a lot easier to work with in case if I get it out here, I can just wipe it away. And if I do hot glue, I won't be able to do that. So anyways, this is where we're going to leave it for now. So thank you all for watching. I hope you enjoyed it. Please like and subscribe so you can check out my next video, check out the finished mystery machine, and I will see y'all in the next one.